Scarecrows and pumpkins are popping up all over, but just how safe is it to celebrate Halloween traditions during the COVID-19 pandemic? Joining us today is Sanford pediatrician Dr. Stephanie Hansen to tell us how we can make Halloween less scary for families this year. Welcome.
Hi, good morning.
So, what is your number one tip? I mean, as far as this goes, I mean, are kids going to be able to trick or treat?
Yes. I think my number one tip this year is let's have some fun with Halloween.
Okay, cool.
It's been a stressful year for all of us, and with getting back to school, the uncertainty of COVID, I think it's time for us to recapture a little bit of joy.
Yeah, absolutely. And kids are outside, too, and they're trick-or-treating.
Yes.
It's not like you're in a large group.
Exactly. Trick-or-treating is really a relatively low-risk activity for both the giver and the receiver.
Right.
So I think to kind of keep up with that tradition, get out in the neighborhood, be outside, have some fun.
Yeah. What other low risk activities do you suggest, or what activities should we probably stay away from due to COVID?
It's kind of just those typical rules we've been talking about. Anything that involves a really closed space, any really large gatherings with a lot of different people mixing together, that's really a kind of a higher risk activity. But we can still enjoy those fun things like hit up the pumpkin patch,
right?
Go out on a hike and look at fall leaves, be outside and enjoy some of this great weather we've been having. Those are all super fun Halloween activities. I've had some friends who have done outdoor movies in their backyard and invited some kids from the neighborhood. So there's lots of ways for us to enjoy this season.
Yeah, I got to be creative.
Yes,
with those ideas too.
Yeah.
So, but the biggest thing is just kind of keeping out of large groups in close quarters.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thing. Okay, that makes sense. So anything else that we need to be aware of, as far as Halloween goes? And
just my typical Halloween safety tips. So, kind of be aware of what your child is consuming. You really want to stick to things that have been commercially wrapped. Be mindful about choking risk for young kids. Costumes should be visible in the dark, and, really making sure just those basic safety things are covered.
Yeah. And of course, I think they need to be, in groups going around, or an adult nearby perhaps would be a good safety feature there.
Exactly.
So do we still have to worry about, the candy being, I think back to when I was a kid and it was like you had to check each and every piece of candy.
Right. You hear these horror stories about, oh, this got slipped into the candy. And I think the best way to avoid problems like that is just really looking for things that are commercially wrapped.
Yes, making sure that too. Okay, let's talk about costumes, because, Lisa and I talked costumes at the very beginning of the show, and we were telling, this is what, you can do. And of course, Kim Kardashian, she has this, one of the costumes for pop culture right now is her outfit from the Met Gala, which was all covered from head to toe.
Right.
You could not see her face. But we don't really recommend covering your eyes and your mouth.
Right. You need to be able to see and be seen. That's kind of my basic rule for a costume. Avoid tripping hazards.
Good point.
Good reminder too, just thinking in this COVID era, that a Halloween mask is not really a substitute for a cloth mask that you would use to protect yourself against COVID. And you don't really want to double up. You don't want to do the cloth mask and a Halloween mask over it. That might impair your breathing or cause some issues that way.
That's a very good point right there. So, anything else that we should know, we should keep in mind for...
Well, I would like to invite everyone to say boo to the flu. So we're hosting this Saturday at Fargo South a flu vaccine blitz. And this is for anyone 6 months of age and older. This is at the Fargo South gym from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We encourage people to come in costume, get a flu shot, maybe get a treat or two while you're there. But I want to remind people that appointments are required for this, just because we want to control the flow of traffic a little bit. And so I think we'll have the phone number available for people to call, or they can check on sanfordhealth.org for more information.
I love it. That's a great idea. And it's cute. Boo to the flu.
Yes.
Because for real.
For real.
We've got to...
This is the perfect time. And we will have COVID vaccine available for anyone 12 and older at that event as well.
Okay. Love it. Dr. Stephanie, thank you so very much for being with us. You always have great tips and thoughts for us to think about. So
thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, coming up on today's show, find out what is new this weekend at ValleyCon 46.